Did you go to the movies on July 19th, 2012?
Yes.
Who did you go with?
John Larimer, Greg McDonald, Lauren Ellis, and Julia Voigtstedt.
How do you know John Larimer and Greg McDonald?
I was in the Navy with them.
At Buckley?
Yes.
Objection. Relevance.
Abstained.
Sir, when you got to the theater that night, was it crowded?
Not at first, no.
What time did you get there?
I'd say about an hour before the theater opened.
Did you guys all arrive together?
We did not.
Who got there first?
Myself, John, and Julia.
And we just heard testimony that Julia and John had left at some point to go get a Batman shirt and a cape. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Had you already picked out your seats by then?
We had.
And are those seats that you ended up staying in through the portion of the movie that you were able to see?
Yes.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
You may.
Sir, I'm handing you what's been marked as People's Exhibit 1245. It doesn't really have any other markings on it. Do you recognize what that is?
Yes.
What is it?
A diagram of the theater?
Do you have a pen up there?
Yes.
Could you do us a favor and mark on there with initials where you recall everybody sitting? And then in the bottom portion where it's clear, could you write their names about with the initials?
Yes. 1 second. It's at the bottom right.
Wherever, sure. Bottom right's fine. Thank you.
Okay.
That place where you were sitting, now, we've already heard a lot of people talk about something unusual happening in that theater that night. What was the first thing you remember happening that was unusual?
Hearing someone open the exit door towards the front of the theater.
And then what?
Something being thrown into the audience and gas leaking from it.
Now, I'm going to ask you about some observations you had about that gas, about body armor, about small arms fire. Are you familiar with all of those things?
Yes.
Tell us how you're familiar with those things.
Those are all things I've been exposed to while I was in the Navy.
Okay. So the gas that you were about to describe, did you notice that it had an impact on you?
Yes.
What kind of impact?
Couldn't breathe, coughing whenever I tried to breathe, runny nose, runny eyes.
Is that consistent with what you'd receive as training in the Navy?
Yes.
What was the next thing that happened after this canister of gas was thrown?
I started hearing gunshots.
What were the people around you doing?
No one reacted at first, and then eventually people started diving beneath the seats.
Did that include you?
I was pulled by John.
By John Larimer?
Yes.
Now, do you remember the sound of the first gunshots that you heard?
Yes.
What did it sound like to you?
A shotgun.
Had you heard that in the Navy as well?
Yes.
How many times do you think you heard that shotgun?
I don't know for sure.
Was it loud?
Yes.
When you were pulled down by John behind those seats, were you able to see anything at that point?
Yes.
Tell us what you saw.
I saw a man in body armor and a gas mask at the front of the theater, firing into the crowd.
Could you tell if that person was also wearing a helmet?
I could not tell that there was a helmet.
And you'd seen body armor and a gas mask before in the Navy?
Objection. Asked and answered.
I'm not sure that this particular question was asked before. Overruled.
Yes.
Did you see that person start moving?
Yes.
Where did they start moving, sir?
The person walked in the front for a little while, and then he started making his way towards the back of the theater.
Here's what I'm going to